there were many ways that we leveraged digital coming into this project. So to begin with the research piece, students were going out and finding links, and we thought, well, where's a good piece that we can put this in where everyone can access it? So we started a Google group together, and then you could go back through the Google group and see actually how many times it had been viewed by someone else, which was good for tracking how that worked. We also tried to tweet out updates as we were going along. To come up with a title for the play, we started a classroom Padlet where everyone in the classroom could contribute, and then afterwards the students voted on what they thought the titles would be. Some of the best student reflection came from their blogs. We started their blogs on Write About and then found it was a little bit restrictive, so then we moved them over to Weebly. And some great student thinking and some great feedback came forward on these blogs, especially from those students who are a little bit quieter and maybe necessarily wouldn't voice their opinions to everyone in the class, but they did it through that other forum. So those were just a few of the ways where we leveraged digital.
It also was really beneficial in building the confidence of our students when we could leverage digital and do a Google Hangout with another class across our board an hour away. And so they were able to be the experts because they'd already done all their research about the play and about the refugee experience. But there was another class who was just in the beginning stages of learning about refugees. So we were kind of their experts to be able to give them feedback on the writing that they were doing and give them voice back and forth, right? There was some excellent learning that happened out of that.
And how was that other class connected to you? How did you connect with them?
Courtney Mello was working with Danielle Carlson's class, and Courtney Mello had been in one day, and she had watched a part of our performance and said, wow, did you know there's another class doing this? And then she and Danielle got in contact with me, and I talked to the students, and they were like, wow, we would certainly love to answer their questions. What Danielle's class was doing is they were writing books, and refugees were the characters in these books, so we were able to share our learning with them. They were able to share part of their writing with my students, and then my students were able to give them feedback on their writing, and they had a discussion together. So aside from some tech glitches, the first couple of times we did it, it worked out very, very well.
And that's the power of conversation among teachers, right? We think we're just sitting in the staff room having a conversation over lunch, but the conversations that teachers have amongst each other and staff members have amongst each other really lead to the partnerships that can happen. And sometimes that happens within your own school, sometimes that happens within other schools. Teachers know teachers who know teachers, and so they can make those connections easily, and that's how we get the learning outside of the walls. And so for teachers who are just starting in this process, it's one of the conversations that I have with them, is part of a deep learning task is how are you getting the learning happening outside of your walls? And that may just be in the classroom next to you, or it may be 2 or 3 students taking that conversation home to their parents. That's a learning partnership. That gives purpose to the learning. And so it's not always a big, huge deal, but it's those partnerships that students see purpose in their learning that really do guide the deep learning and make it a unique task, whether it's a big task or a small task.